Hi everyone, today we're going to go over Cascade and how to make your first edit now that you've attended basic editor training. So if you need the URL to get to Cascade again, that's something that you can contact me for at webdev@csupueblo.edu. But once you get that URL, you're going to log in with your CSU Pueblo credentials, so the same ones that you use for your computer. And then once you're in, you're going to see a dashboard like this. Now, to make your first edit and to actually do the things that you need to do in Cascade, you don't really need to worry about the dashboard. There's a separate video on how you can utilize this, but it's not something you need to know in order to make the edits that you need. What you do need to do is, once you're in, you're going to click to go to a site, and then the CSU Pueblo main site. So that's where all of the different folders live, and that's where you'll be making edits. So then what you will see on the left-hand corner are what you have access to. So every single editor has a profile folder and an X-Training folder. The X-Training folder is just additional resources. There's a separate video on the resources you can find in there. The profile folder is every single profile that you can see in a Contact Us page. Now, from editor training, you recall that to edit a Contact Us page, what you do is you edit a profile. Therefore, if you need to edit Contact Us pages, you'll be working in this folder a lot. And there are separate videos again on how you can edit a profile so that it appears in your Contact Us pages correctly. Now, this user, I just assumed Cascade user 3, so this is a generic user, has access to the automotive industry management pages. So if I click on this folder, you're going to see that it drops down. That doesn't mean I'm actually in the folder. If I want to edit or be inside the folder to then add content to this folder, I'm going to click on the greater than symbol. So once I click on it and see it on the right-hand side, that means I'm inside the folder. So now if I click to add content, I'm going to be adding content to this folder specifically. Otherwise, you might just end up adding it to a random spot where you're not supposed to be. This is also helpful if you're trying to add a document or an image or a widget. I recommend to just go into the folder where you want to add content, see it on the right-hand side, and then click to add content. Now, there are 3 things that you can add to a folder. So if I click on add content, I could add a file, which is an image or a document, and that would live in that _doc or _image folder. Or there's a navigation link. So that's if you want to link to a different page, either on an external website or to a folder that you don't have access to, you can use a navigation link. So those are the 3 things. Now, when it comes to making your first edit, say I wanted to edit, I will just pick a random page. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to see it on the right-hand side. It takes a little bit to load. But say I wanted to edit some text. I'm going to go to Edit up here. So the display name is what you're going to see on the navigation. And then title is the page title that appears. So going to the AIM website, to the miners, we see the display name, and then this is the title of the page. And now I recommend just to close all of these different sections that are part of the interior page template so that you can really see that layout that we went over in basic editor training. So we see that there is no slider. So when we have this slider column, it's turned off to no. That left column, we do have the navigation turned on, and then a widget, a contact information widget, which we see right here on this left column. We see 3 different main content sections. One of those is the image. The other, I imagine, is this entire text section with a call to action. And then I imagine this to be the last main content section. And then we see that the right column, we have it displayed, but there's no widgets, which is why this is blank, but we also have this white space right here. So again, this just gives you the visual of what you're editing, since this is really what you see in the editor. So if we wanted to make an edit to the text, say I wanted to update this description right here. I know it's a main content section in the middle here, so I'm going to find one of these. This is the image. This is not the one. going to go down to main content section and I see the paragraph. So here I can just work like a normal editor and type in whatever it is that I want to replace the text with. And then you have different parts of what you can do with a main content section. I recommend going to the best guide, standards, practices, and best, to the web style standards and best practices guide in order to reference what you can do with different main content sections, because there's so much flexibility. So that will be a really helpful resource. But once you've made that edit, you're just going to click Save and Preview. And then you're going to see a preview of the changes that you just made. If you're creating a new page, you're not going to be able to see this preview. You're just going to have to submit to workflow. So again, you're only going to see the preview if you're editing an existing page. So once you've made that edit, you like how it looks, you're going to click Submit, which is then going to prompt a workflow. You just click Check Content and Submit. Gives you any errors that you see in order to fix as far as typos, and then you're going to get the prompt to start the workflow. Until you press to start the workflow, I won't see it and we won't be able to get it published. So just make sure that you actually submit everything through. So we'll just start workflow. And that's it. You've made your first edit.